We're not live on Not TV Facebook page. Chad and I are recording this right now because we have intermittent cell phone reception, but we wanted to give you guys an update. So the truck is running, Chad.
It's on the road.
It's on the road. And huge shout out to Rick. We didn't see your comment right at the end of that last live. We got an antifreeze leak, right? But that's going to get taken care of. So we're going to look for a shop here. Once we get a little more cell phone reception, we'll get on the radio here with everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can find a shop big enough for a dually. If I have to do it on the side, or if we have to do it on the side of the road, or in a parking lot, we can. Ideally not. But yeah, water pump, a little bit of coolant, drain pan, and a funnel, and we'll be back on the road. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ben. He left us a little note just in case we were lazy truckers this morning and didn't do a proper pre-trip, which we did, so we didn't have to worry about that. But he says, "Good morning, sir. Hope you have a blessed day. All you guys trust in God in this raging war. I'm from Manitoba with the food donations crew. God bless." And I was reading that, and it was kind of like, a heartfelt little message. And then at the bottom it said, "P.S. You have an antifreeze leak, Ben." So it was good to see him. I hopped in the truck this morning, and that was right on the windshield. He left his phone number, so I'm going to contact him a little later once we have cell service and just thank him for doing that for us, for putting in the effort, to let us know. That's something that can get overlooked because the reservoir is still full, but the rad's empty, and that's sometimes what happens is if you don't see the leak, just check the fluids, and if the reservoir is full, you never really know. But we have we're near the back of the convoy, but there's a lot behind us coming up yet, and we're going through. Next stop is Val Marie Bay, if I remember correctly, and cell reception, like Travis said, is real poor right now. So if we go in and out, we're gonna have to get somewhere a little closer, and then they'll start making some contacts, or try to make some contacts, see if we can find a shop. What was the name of that place there?
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're definitely butchering this.
I'm sorry, everybody. I tried to write it down, and I just wrote a lot of wows.
Yeah, we heard it over the Zello app. There's a guy that said he has a big shop, and the whole Zello app is on their loudspeaker in their shop, so that everybody who comes into their shop can hear the Zello app, hear everyone talking, and it brings more and more people into the circle. We're gonna see if we can. I don't know what kind of shop he has, but we're gonna see if we can Hananawawa, I think, something close like that. And we're gonna see if it's a mechanic shop, we're gonna see if maybe he would give us lend us a bay for an hour or two. What else? There was something else we were gonna talk about.
Oh, the Ants movie.
The Ants movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. It was referenced, I think, on Zello or somewhere else too. But this is getting to be huge. It is huge. But was it Cuba and Brazil are on board with us too. They're doing a trucking convoy in their countries. I heard Switzerland and another. I think that was on our live last night with the fellow we were talking to beside the truck. They're all on board with us. And so the Ants movie, from my foggy memory on it, is there's thousands of ants and there's only a handful or so many grasshoppers, and the grasshoppers push them around for so long and kind of rule over them. And one of the grasshoppers, there's a clip in the movie that says, if this gets out, or if we let them start winning, there's way more of them than there is of us, and we'll be doomed. And that's it's a bit of an analogy for what the government's looking at right now. They're the grasshoppers, we're the ants, hard-working people that want to get on with their lives in a peaceful, free way, and there's way more of us than there is of them. Also, I think I did hear somebody on the Zello app talking about or asking if there was people getting together in each one of their communities across Canada, across the world, whoever's listening, to get together to protest, to listen in, kind of a community gathering, for whether they're listening to the Zello app, whether they're watching live feeds, talking, maybe having potlucks, whatever people want to do to get together, to create more unity in individual communities for those folks that that couldn't be with us on this trip. And yeah, I haven't heard anything myself. I didn't hear anything come back on the Zello just to hear if there were people doing that. That would be that would be something to see if there is anybody doing that. We'd love to see some links to some videos or something of that. It would definitely lift the spirits even higher of this crew. As well, they were talking about people going to their government buildings in each one of their towns. So kind of their own convoy of four-wheelers or people, whatever they want, protesting at each one of whatever it's parliament, government buildings. I mean, that could be anything from government issuing like license places to anything, just to make a presence, and the more people that we have show up at government places and the more people we have getting together raises our vibration even higher. And I think Travis and I were talking about this yesterday. It's kind of like a big wave or like a tsunami. It just keeps coming and there's nothing that they can do to stop it. And if you have anything you want to add to that, we're getting into some tight areas. I'm going to focus on the road for a minute. Look at this, eh? There's
Check that out.
God keep our land glorious and free. That's quite an undertaking there. We got more coming up. What else we got? Scrap school, is that what that said? I think school and our education is good. School, I don't know how good.
SCAP. We don't know what SCAP means. SCAP.
SCAP?
School
SCAP?
SCAP. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said scrap.
No.
Scap. Okay, I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah.
It smells like fire, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're probably keeping themselves warm back there.
Okay.
It smells like wood fire.
Doesn't smell like antifreeze sweet. So.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, let's wrap this live up and then we'll come back and actually I just want to really quickly mention, like, there's so much news coming out right now that like we can't keep up, and then in the world, like Quebec was gonna try and loosen their rules. They came out with that yesterday, and then BC, Bonnie Henry says she's gonna extend the vaccine passport till June, and then we're watching that interview, like Trudeau was making some comments. We haven't actually seen a clip of him, but he's commenting to somebody somewhere about how this thing will just kind of, as if this will just blow over if everybody just gets vaccinated. So I think the politicians are missing the point on this. And then there's some troubles with the Facebook pages. One of the groups, people were saying it got taken down, and then we're hearing all this support from American truck drivers who are coming up here. And yeah, it'll be interesting because this is turning into something a lot bigger. It's not just the truck. Like, you listen to the Zello app and hear the chatter on there too. People, like, everybody's well aware that this is representing so much more than just truck drivers. Now it's representing so much more than just Canadians. And people around the world are starting to wake up to the fact. Sometimes I see in the comments too on the Facebook posts or the news posts from back home in the Okanagan, like on Kelowna now and Castanet, and some of the comments are like, well, yeah, but you'll just get there and then it'll be over and you'll just go home. But I think what people forget is that this is a democratic society still, and the people do have the power, and it's just if we wake up to that power, because the politicians, and I've heard it said a few times, they're there to represent the people. And if they take too much of their power, and that was the warning from people in the eastern countries that have come to North America to live life where they have more freedom and choice. And they've been telling stories about what life was like back in those European countries and in other parts of the world too. We met somebody in Cuba and Calgary, from Cuba and Calgary, and it was like a word of warning that if we don't do this, that the cost to our future is going to be grave, and we really need to pull together and decide as a nation and as a world what kind of a world we want to live in, and if we want freedom as one of our core values. So that's what I feel is uniting this entire convoy. When it comes down to it, it truly is about freedom. It's about freedom as a value, as a core value, if that is something that we actually want to have as we go into the future or not. So that seems to be what this is really all about on a global global level of everybody as humans around the entire planet. Do you want freedom as one of your core values that you leave for your children and your grandchildren? If not, if you don't want freedom and you don't care about freedom, then yeah, you can just sit on the sidelines and watch this unfold, because there's a lot of people who do want freedom and are choosing to stand for freedom and to unite for freedom. So here we are in the convoy, Freedom Convoy 2022, reporting not live from Ontario, driving from Kenora to Thunder Bay, and I'm with Chad, and we'll give you some updates and upload this as soon as we can, and then get back to doing live broadcasts as soon as we can. And download everything you can from the internet as well. Make a backup copy of all that, because if it's on somebody else's servers, you never know when they're going to pull the plug or if they're going to pull the plug. But well, the amazing thing about the internet is that things don't tend to go away. There's somebody somewhere who's making a copy, and then things come back. And I seen that in Calgary, that with social media breakfast, that there was a company that tried to just dismiss all the negative attention by deleting their Facebook group and deleting all the Facebook posts. But then within 24 hours, an entirely new Facebook group had emerged with a complete copy of all the posts that had been deleted. So they couldn't run from it. So I don't know if our politicians are too savvy on social media these days, but this is powerful. So keep up the good work of broadcasting and sharing all the content and the news, because that's how it reaches everybody. There's a social media effect here, and Chad and I are looking to do our part by bringing you this side of the story, but it's taking everybody. It's taking everybody who has social media, who has cameras, who has phones, who has a voice, to share your voice, to stand up and unite. It's not like we just got to wait for the next election. We're headed to Ottawa because this is urgent and the time is now. There's no waiting for the next election. The MOU, yeah, the MOU, the memorandum. How to say that again, Chad?
Memorandum of Understanding.
Of understanding, that is the word. So the Memorandum of Understanding by Canada Unity, Canada-unity.com. They're looking for as many signatures as they can get as an actual memorandum, like it's a memo agreement between the Canadian government and the peoples of Canada, saying that the government is not doing their job. And then on Zello today, somebody was commenting that it actually goes much bigger than Trudeau. That Trudeau isn't making all of the decisions. That's a rabbit hole I'm not going to get into right now. We're just focused on Canadian politics, and we could maybe in another live we could have some fun with that. But we're also talking about recording a podcast, so like a longer form conversation, so then you can post that on Not Radio and you can follow along. We haven't done the recording yet, but we'll let you know when we do, and then we'll be back on the road reporting. So we'll get some shots here and try and share with you.
I think yesterday I was hearing we were at 54% of that, what the goal was or is, and the goal is 4 million. So we're over 2 million people signing that MOU as of yesterday. So if we could hit that goal or blow it out of the water, that'd be great.
It might be. I might have exaggerated. I said 4 million, but then when somebody was on the page, they were looking for like 200,000 or something. So
is it?
Yeah. So I don't want to say million when it could be hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was on Zello. We heard that.
So I think what's happening is on the web page they've got a counter. So on the web page they want people to sign up for it, and then their counter goal is their first milestone is 200 or 250,000 people. And then if you read the memorandum, in the memorandum they need 4 million signatures. I believe that's what I read, so I'll have to double check that. But go on the website and read the memorandum for yourself. See what it's all about. It's very powerful, and then you can make your own decision about the whole thing. And if you go to the web page, Canada-unity.com, you can go and show your support there and help them reach their first milestone on that web page. All right, so we'll see you guys later. Ciao.